What up, folks? I'm ULTRAZILLA, and this is my February Vlogzilla. That's right, it's time to chat a little bit, talk about what's going on here at Casa ULTRAZILLA, at ULTRAZILLA Studios, at ultrazillatoys. Had so many names for this place, right? And for what I do, you guys know me as ULTRAZILLA, and I've come to appreciate that, you know, like I do dig that people like at shows that say, hey, ULTRAZILLA and stuff, and that's happened more and more, and that's always cool. I really do dig that. Speaking of shows, Kaiju Brooklyn is coming in June. I will be a part of it. I've mentioned this before. I will have a table once again selling stuff from my collection, although I think, just like my channel, there's going to be a little more diversity in what I sell. Probably going to have a bunch of like Super Sentai and Power Ranger stuff, some Kamen Rider stuff. So a little more variety and not just Godzilla and Ultraman stuff like I had last year. So a little more stuff, and probably not some Gamera stuff because I kind of adore all my Gamera stuff. But yeah, there's going to be other things there, so do look forward to that. I'm also taking care of a lot of the panels and helping putting them together. So I will be, moderating some panels. I'm going to be on a panel, and I'm going to generally help, shepherd that stuff that day. So it should be a lot of work and a lot of fun. So I do hope you guys come down to Kaiju Brooklyn in June. I'm going to be talking about it more. We're going to be talking about the panel that I'm on very, very shortly here. So do stay tuned for that. So we'll start out with a little good news, but there's been a lot of like not so good news in the last month. You guys know we had a little bit of a flood here. That was a major problem. Well, there was like kind of like an almost redo of that. There was some more backing up in our pipes, and we did find out that one of our pipes that's leading to the main pipeline of the city has a little bit of a depression in it, and that's what's been causing the backups to happen more recently. We had some problems with the plumber as well, and who wanted to be very overzealous and get to it right away and kind of displace us, because if you work on that, you have to knock down our entire stoop, because that's where the dip in the pipe is. It's kind of like, apparently like something is crushing the pipe or something. I don't know. I'm not going to get into the technical terms of it, but that's going to be a problem when it does happen. It was almost a problem, but we called our insurance and they had another plumber come out, and they're like, you don't have to do this right this second, but I can't tell you exactly when it's going to happen. It's probably going to happen sooner than later, so bear with me, guys. There's going to be some downtime at some point soon. I hope to be able to work, if not here in the studio, and hopefully nothing gets affected here in the studio as far as like backups and stuff again, and floods, then I will be, doing stuff from my apartment. I will take stuff upstairs from like my backlog, or if I have new stuff coming in. We're going to talk about all of that momentarily. But not only did we have a problem like that, and we did avoid it for now, but it could turn up at any point. Like just warning you guys. Telling you guys ahead of time, because I'm sure there's gonna be at least a day or two where like I need to redo or get myself up to speed somewhere else, and have some downtime because there's an issue going on here. We had another issue on top of that, in between those two things, and that's a little bit of a sickness that we had here. My wife was sick. ULTRAZILLA Jr. wasn't sick, but had to be quarantined. You guys get what I'm saying. But I wasn't, and I was able to take care of everybody, and we got through it. And luckily, that happened right after I had filmed a ton of stuff, and I was able to just edit that week because I was just taking care of everybody. I did not get sick myself, thankfully. Knock on wood. I have no wood. I'm sorry. But I was okay, and thankfully we've gone through that. But then again, we had some other issues that turned up here, and hopefully that's not a major deal, but I think it will be. But it is what it is. We move forward, you know. Another issue that you guys know I've been having in the past year now is my work has had like really low dips, and you know, then it's come back a bit and then low dips again. Work has not been as steady as it has been since I've gone freelance since 2015. Like, last year was the first year where I was just like, oh my god, what is going on? You know, like, it made me get, I thankfully, it wasn't me that, you know, looked for it, but thankfully I was able to get a teaching gig for, you know, just a 1 night a week thing for a little while. That helped a little bit. I'm going to be doing it again come early March, and I'm going to be doing some subbing as well in the school that I did this. And that's great because it's, you know, my subject from comics, and that's awesome. You know, I really liked it. You know, that was really good, and a really good thing that happened. I want to do more of that. So I think as I get older, I see the value of giving that stuff back to folks. And you know, I feel like I've always been like that anyway. Like, even here on the channel, I've always like valued, like, you know, trying to teach a little bit, and you know, do the things the right way. And you know, I don't know. I don't know if it comes through, if it comes across, but that's stuff that I'm always, like, you know, interested in, and I'm glad I'm doing a little more of that. So we'll see how things go. But, you know, I've had, in the past month also, like, you know, January has started a little slow, and it hasn't been a good time for that to happen, especially with GXK figures dropping right away. So that's why I've staggered them a bit, not only because of money, but because I do want to stagger them a bit, because, you know, it would be good to have figures all the way up till the movie to do, and I've been trying to get them a little bit at a time. I did do this guy this week, and, you know, unfortunately, it didn't, this video didn't do as well as some of the others, and, you know, look, I get it. I didn't do them all at once, but I would hope, you know, this is the stuff that you guys want to see more, and, you know, do my best to get them. I do have another one of these Battle Royale figures coming, I think, towards the end of the week. So it's ordered. I had Amazon points, so I ordered the Kong. So that one's coming this week. So another new thing that's coming is that, but I have been leaning on my backlog this particular week. There's been stuff that made it make sense to me. The HasLab Omega Prime, which I did that HasLab report on. Do check that out if you haven't. Check this guy out as well. That made me want to do some primes. The Mega Man news from 3.0 made me want to do a Mega Man. Redoing the Ultraman shelves made me want to open some more Ultra stuff that's on, and Tokusatsu stuff that's on my backlog as well. So you got the King Joe, you got that Kamen Rider. That's all stuff for those shelves. I will be filming the next part of that shortly, possibly this weekend. We'll see how it goes. Today's more of a chore day, and I had like some time while I'm doing laundry to talk to you guys. But honestly, this is actually the third time I'm trying to record this. I tried to record this a day ago, and I didn't like how it turned out, and I tried to record this earlier, and I really didn't like how that turned out. So this is, I feel like, as far as how I feel personally, I feel more chill now than I did when I tried to record them the 2 other times for whatever reason. So I can already tell I feel better about this, and this is probably what you're watching right now. But do check out this stuff. I will be leaning on the backlog a little bit more, is one of the things I wanted to tell you. Because of, you know, the money thing, and because the backlog is huge, and, you know, I want to get through a lot of that stuff, because not only is it fun for me, because I just haven't checked out that stuff more than possibly an unboxing. Some of that stuff I'd never opened at all. You know, like, I want to get through a good chunk of that stuff this year. Something I've said already. I want to get through a chunk of that. Now, I don't have anything from 2023 in there. Nothing was left over. I got everything done. Nothing from 2022, because I finally got everything done of that, you know, last year. So those two things. So everything that's come out this year that I've picked up, I've reviewed. So I've been pretty on top of all of that. It's stuff that I got. I don't know how wide a range it is, but from 2021 and under, there's a lot of stuff that I've picked up over the years since, starting this channel that has just gone into the backlog because I've gotten so much other stuff that I've reviewed before it that I just never got to it. So I do want to get to a lot of that stuff. There's a lot of diversity in there, just like I always say, diversify your collection. My collection is pretty diverse, but I do want to get into that stuff more because, like I was starting to say, the more I get into that, the more I'm able to determine, do I want to keep this or I want to sell it? And then I could try to sell it, and that'll put money back into the channel because usually that stuff, I usually just buy this stuff, get the money for that stuff and just put it back in, and get something else that I would want to review for you guys. So, do look out for my eBay shop. I do plan to, I have stuff in there. I've always have stuff in there, but I haven't updated with new things in a while, and since before December, I think. So I do want to toss. I have a stack of stuff that I have gone through that I want to toss in there very, very shortly. So do stay tuned for that. And I want to do more shows as well. So hopefully I could be able to have some stuff for shows as well. So that stuff I hope goes on the uptrend in 2024, and I hope you do give a check to some of this backlog videos. If you're watching this and you haven't checked out any of my videos this week, please do give it a check. The views are really low this week on that stuff, but the views are low on this guy too, surprisingly. So do please help support the channel just by watching, that is the most important thing. Commenting, liking, sharing would help so much. I'm doing my best, guys. I really, really am. Under the circumstances, I try not to stop, and I try to make sure I always have content here for you guys to watch, and it's good for me too. It's cathartic to be able to just review stuff, and especially review the backlog stuff. It helps. It helps me mentally. It helps my soul to get through a lot of that stuff. So this is the time for me to do it. This is the time for me to go through a lot of that stuff, and there's cool stuff in there. Like, there's a lot more Ultra stuff. There's more Kamen Rider stuff. There is Evangelion stuff in there. There's a couple Godzilla things in there as well that I want to get to. There's Chogokin. There's Gundam. There's Mezco. There's Mythic Legions. There's so many cool things. There's things I'm forgetting about. There's some Super 7 stuff, TMNT stuff. NECA, although I don't know how much NECA, maybe one NECA that I know for sure that I actually have right by me because I was going to review it this week and then I didn't. Super Shredder. That's going to be an interesting review because I've had a good chance to look at that earlier and it's not so hot. So I don't know how deep that review is going to be, but that's one of the things that, I will be reviewing soon just to get it out here, and I checked it out a little further. But do please help me out and give those videos a check, and give the videos a check. Diversify your collection. Check out some new stuff. I always say, the figures come first. I come for my opinion of them, but make them the stars, and it's not about me. I don't make it about me. But do come and listen to my opinion. I want it to be a figure first channel, and about what I do with the figures as far as reviews and what I think about them, and how I manage my collection and all that, and just keep it down to earth and real, and not make myself something I'm not. I'm not a character. I don't plan to be a character. I always hope to improve the presentation of how I do things. And there was some tweaks this year. I hope you guys have enjoyed the little tweaks I've made to the thumbnails, to the videos, the review videos themselves. positive tweaks, I think. I think everything is looking a lot sharper than it's been, and it looks cool. And if you've been enjoying the figure backgrounds again, I have. I'm glad to be back in here and doing it this way again. It definitely helps mentally to be surrounded by everything. And again, it makes me want to clean up more often, so that's good. That's been a positive for me personally. Do you guys like it? Let me know. Do you like the little tweaks? Have you noticed little tweaks in the videos? Let me know, because gradual little tweaks is how I like to go. I like to keep going. I don't stop to try to make everything different and better, and oh, how can I feed the algorithm, and how can I change all of this so YouTube picks me up, or Instagram picks me up, or whatever. You know, I don't do it. I don't do that. I just do. I keep doing. I want to do. That's how I approach things. Is it the right way? It's the right way for me. I don't care. Like, is it the right way to be popular? Nah, it's not. I would hope my subs would watch me. That's my main goal. The subs that come to this channel, the people that watch, keep watching. And when the videos are not getting a lot of views, that hurts a bit, and it's like, what can I do to make things better without, compromising who I am? Because I never want to do that. I don't clown around. I'm not saying anything bad about it. I just don't do it. It's just not me. I want the opinion to be the star, and the figures, and those two things go hand in hand. And my experience, I always talk about this. My experience is to be the forefront of why someone comes and connects with me, because they realize, oh, this guy it sounds like he kind of knows what he's talking about when it comes to this stuff. Because I feel like I do, and, that's just because of my experiences outside of here have, formulated my opinions. But my experiences inside of here, 2,000 plus, reviews, 3,000 plus videos, you would think that experience in on itself would help formulate, what I think is a pretty valid opinion. I've dealt with a lot of companies, good and bad, and you guys have heard me document this stuff over the past year, like my experiences with that. I don't shy away about talking about that. I know a lot of folks do, because they're like, oh, if I talk about this, I'll never be able to get anything. But if you don't talk about some of this stuff, how do you make things better for other people? Like I said earlier, my goal is to help people as well, and to help teach people, and to try to, do things right, because I feel like a lot of the stuff that goes into this is not right. I do. People, change who they are, to try to become popular, and it shouldn't be about that. It shouldn't be this, weird, race to be the same, because that's what it turns into. I watch a lot of these, ridiculous, Instagram shorts where it's the same exact thing from every single person, because they're all doing the thing that Instagram or even YouTube deems them that they want them to be, so they can feed the algorithm and in turn get popular. But it's boring. It really is boring to me. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna keep doing what I do, and gradually, hopefully, get better, and hopefully earn the views more, in a way that I could live with, and I could deal with, and I could be happy with. But you know what? I'm not happy when the views are low either, so there's that. I don't know if I already said that, because again, I've recorded this multiple times and it's not worked out, but I am feeling good about this. So there you go, guys. That's all I have to say. Bear with me. I'm gonna have new stuff here. I have a new one of these coming. I finally pulled the trigger on getting the Super 7 Ultimates last wave of Toho stuff, the Destroyer, the Godzilla 1200 degrees Celsius. Those, I finally got the Destroyer today. I was able to get the 1200 degrees Godzilla almost 2 weeks ago, honestly. I had some money and I put it into that. But I finally pulled the trigger on the Destroyer today, and I sent for my order of those two. And there's also a robot toy in there that I've wanted for almost 2 years now. I've been watching it, hoping for price drops, and it started price dropping, and it now was like 60% off at BBTS, so I was able to get that as well. And there will be other new things past that as well. I still haven't gotten all the newer Hyatt Toys figures. King Ghidorah, still haven't gotten that. Skullcrawler, still haven't gotten that. I mean, all my orders are at BBTS, so I'm kind of in that boat. One of the things that's come out of, me not making as much money right now is I don't want to import that stuff. So, I'm at the mercy of when it comes out here in the States. It is what it is. I can't do anything about that. I'm not paying extra when that money could go into getting other figures. The one import that I will be having coming at some point at the end of the month is the SH Monstarts Godzilla, was it 71? So that's good, right? We're gonna have a little new SH Monstarts to work with coming out. But I can't do anything about the other stuff. I can't spend the extra money on trying to get stuff first right now. It's not in the cards. I'm just gonna do what I can and make the best of it. You will hear my opinions. All that stuff is pre-ordered. So you will hear my opinion at some point on all of it. And at some point, obviously, I would love for that to change. But that depends on how much money I'm making and what I could put back into the channel. I think that makes sense, right? So I have 3 things coming from BBTS and one of these figures. So new stuff coming. As well, and I will mix them in with like a lot of this backlog stuff that I am doing, which is fun for me. Like I said, there's a lot of good things that come out of me doing that stuff. So that's the mix of stuff. Organizing is coming again very, very shortly. Might record it this weekend. We shall see. And I got a Let's Talk that's germinating. That kind of has to do with some of the stuff I've talked about in this video, so we'll see if I do that, but that's the stuff I'm going to be doing in the short term. And Ultra Z News, of course. Tomorrow's Ultra Z News should be pretty fun. There's a lot of cool stuff that was announced this week, a lot of cool news, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be a really, really, really good news, I think, or at least it should be. And I got to figure out what I'm recording this week. I think I'm recording that Shredder. And then there's some things I want to do as well. Like I said, correlates to stuff that I've been talking about or whatever. There's stuff in my backlog that I would like to get to. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. But bear with me, guys. I'm doing my absolute best here that I can. And there you go. That's all I can say. That's all I can do, right? Have yourself a good rest of your weekend. If you're new to the channel, doubtful that you would watch this video, but if you are new to the channel, why don't you go ahead and sub yourself for daily content and let me help you diversify your collection. Till next time, peace out, peeps.